Have you ever wondered why some wounds heal seamlessly while others take weeks or even months? What makes the difference between a smooth scar and a disfiguring one? In this video, we will unravel the fascinating science of wound healing, a cornerstone of surgical practice. Understanding these concepts is crucial not just for the exams but for handling real life clinical scenarios effectively. Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Qazi Arifuddin, a surgeon and medical educator. Welcome to my channel where I simplify surgical concepts for medical students and budding doctors. Today, we will decode the three types of wound healing: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Stick around for practical tips, examples, and a quiz question at the end. Let's start with the ideal and simplest scenario, that is primary healing, also known as healing by first intention. In this case, the wound edges are directly approximated using sutures, staples, or adhesive strips. The process is straightforward with minimal inflammation, relying mainly on epithelial regeneration and not the fibrosis. The result: clean, linear scar that is smooth and supple. For example, think of a clean surgical incision like a lipoma excision or hernia surgery when there is no contamination or no tension on the wound edges. Primary healing is the go-to choice. Here is a clinical tip: always ensure the wound is clean and tension free for optimal healing. Now let's move to the more complex scenario, that is secondary healing, also called as healing by second intention. This happens when a wound is left open due to factors like infection, contamination, or tissue loss. Healing relies on the three key processes: granulation tissue formation, wound contracture, and reepithelialization. However, it is slower, involves more inflammation, and often result in wider scar which may even become hypertrophic. For example, think of a deep skin ulcer, pressure sore, or open wound after abscess drainage. These wounds require meticulous care and frequent monitoring. Here is a tip: optimize the wound environment with proper dressing, debridement, and infection control for better outcomes. Now, the third one is tertiary healing, also called as delayed primary intention. This is a hybrid method used for contaminated or untidy wounds. Initially, the wound is left open to control infection and inflammation. After a thorough debridement, when the conditions are optimal, that means there is no infection or necrotic tissue, the edges are surgically approximated. This combines the benefit of secondary healing, that is the infection control, and primary healing, that is a best, that is better cosmetic outcomes. Take an example of surgical site infection wound that is cleaned and observed for signs of infection and sutured after a few days. Or imagine a deep contaminated wound from a road traffic accident. After initial wound care and debridement, we close it surgically a few days later to achieve better healing. So the pro tip is, the key here is timing. Never rush closure in contaminated wound. Let's recap the three types of wound healing. First, primary healing: clean wounds with edges directly approximated. It heals quickly with minimal scar. Examples are clean surgical incisions. Secondary healing is open wound healed by granulation, contraction, and epithelialization. It is a slow process with wider scar. Examples are burn wounds or pressure ulcer. Third one is tertiary healing, initially open wounds, later closed surgically under favorable condition. It balances infection control and scar quality. For example, contaminated trauma wound after debridement. These classifications are not just theoretical, they guide every surgeon in choosing the right closure method for optimal patient care. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for high quality surgical content. Let me know in the comment section which topic you would like to cover next. And don't forget to share this video with your fellow students and colleagues.